So finally I call out, Mark, what's up, man? Because I think my voice just broke, by the way. Thank God, puberty is finally here. But I called out, Mark, what's up? Thinking that he's playing with me, trying to get me. I don't hear anything for a while. He says, then I finally hear something like, help. What's going on, folks? Evil Foo here again, doing another hill walk here, a rucksack march through the woods. And I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, just rant, I guess. Not rant, but I guess I'm just going to talk about what this area here means to me and why I like coming up here, besides just the hills and the exercise. But this wooded area here is about a mile or so away from where I'm staying right now in Spokane, Washington. It's close to my mother's house, actually. But yeah, I've been coming up here since I'm in my mid 40s now, but I've been coming up here since I was a teenager, right around probably 16 to 18. So for a couple of years, we used to sneak up here, and it's you can't tell from where I'm at right now, but I'll take some better footage here in a minute. But it used to be a huge area of woods up here, woods and hills, and over the past almost 30 years now, it's been developed quite a bit. So it's been a lot of houses and things. It's a very rich neighborhood, so it's rich people houses. But some big houses up here. You can see some down there. But that used to all be woods when I was a kid. Well, I used to play paintball a lot, but I always hated kind of like a shooting. Like when I don't like going to a shooting range. I'd much rather go out to the woods and shoot myself. But so it's the same with paintball. So my friends and I would sneak up here as kids, and we come up here and play paintball and hike around and stuff, have some fun. There's a big water tower up here somewhere. You should be able to see it over there. But so this is all state property. Like I said, they've been portioning it off and selling it bit by bit for houses. But I don't think they have much room for houses left. Spokane's on a bunch of volcanic rock, like basalt and shit like that, which not only makes the houses full of poisonous radon gas, but makes it hard for construction. So I think they're at the limit of where they can develop this area now. But yeah, it's good times. I'll put some, if I can find them, some old photos. Things didn't always used to be digital, folks. But I'll put some old photos into this video and stuff. And I'll go around and talk about some of this stuff. So usually we come up here with a group of us, like 5, 6 of us at a time, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Maybe a few more. But it was just guys that I worked with, my friends, and my girlfriend at the time, who eventually became my wife. We've been divorced for more than 20 years. No, 20 years this year, I think, 2003, yeah. Wow, what an anniversary. But we used to come up here, and one time I came up here, sometimes, a couple different times we came up just like one-on-one, and one-on-one paintball in an area this big is kind of hard to do. So those are always boring. It's always much better with the group. But anyways, I hate that transition. But I was walking, I hadn't found my friend for about, it was me and my friend's about 13 years older than me, so 13 to 14 years. I'm a terrible friend, I don't remember. But we all met working at my grandparents' restaurant. But anyways, it was just me and him up here one time, so he was probably around 30-ish, close to 30, late 20s maybe. Guy's an old fucking man now. But so I'll turn this camera around here. So I was walking through, the trail wasn't as developed as it is now, but I was walking through this area. This is where the big water tower is, and there's a big, like, kind of like a rock quarry here. I don't know if you can see that through these trees or not, but I was stealthily, I was probably like over behind these rocks and things, crouched down low. This is way before I went into the army or anything like that, so I didn't know what I was doing or anything, but I was good at paintball. But I hadn't heard him for a long time or anything. And so I was down, I remember I was down this next trail over here, and I heard, my name's Johnny. People used to call me Johnny when I was a teenager. So I heard real creepy and whispery, like, Johnny. Like, what the fuck was that? I couldn't even tell what the, I I couldn't even tell that it was actually my name at first. I just heard a noise, so I stopped, you know. I'm listening. Whoa, what was that? I'm looking around because I'm still in paintball mode, so you don't want to be tactical. I don't want to be seen or heard or anything. So I take a few more steps and hear again, Johnny. And that time I could hear my name being called out. What the fuck? That's creepy. So I think it's a trick at first. So I make my way from that trail down there, climb up here, and up. I get back up to here, up to this area. I'm listening. I don't hear anything for a long time. So finally I call out, Mark, what's up, man? Because I think my voice just broke, by the way. Thank God, puberty is finally here. But I called out, Mark, what's up? Thinking that he's playing with me, trying to get me. I don't hear anything for a while. He says, then I finally hear something like, help. I'm like, what the fuck? So I start looking all over this area, all over up here and up on the hill and stuff like that. House wasn't there at that time, but I'm looking all up in this area and stuff like that. And let me hike up around here, and I'll turn the camera back on when I get around this area here. I am walking, big old fat old guy walking to get to where I need to record. Hey, that song, that's fucking free. Hit like and subscribe. All right, so I don't know what happened to my recording. I've been sitting here talking to myself for about 5 minutes, thought it was being recorded, but it wasn't. Let me turn my fat ass around here. Well, maybe I'll just turn the phone around. So that's where I was talking to you guys earlier. I was down over there, came up around here to where the water tower is, then threw off my rucksack down there. I don't know if my phone's pointed at that or not, but then I climbed this rock, which was quite entertaining because I'm very fat and out of shape. But yeah, so let me turn the camera back around. So this is where I finally came to my friend. He was over here, I think, right where that split rock is, and down there, kind of where that bush is right there in the middle, there's another pit. It's kind of like this right here, right where I'm at. It's hard to tell the distance because I'm up here, but like those yellow flowers down there, that's like about 20 feet in front of me and about 15 feet down or so. It's kind of hard to judge the depth on here. I'll turn the camera around and see if that gives a better angle. So I don't know if this will give a better angle or not, but down there, that's where my friend was. Like I said, that yellow flower down there, if I pointed at it, it's about 15 feet down. So I come up here, and over there, I finally hear some more moans, more just like moans and groans. Like I can't get down to over there right now. I'd have to go all the way around over here, but we can just pretend it's like right here. This is the same as this, right? And there's all kinds of wild animal poop out here, so I'm trying to be careful where I'm walking because I'm not a philiac. I don't really like poop. But so anyways, I'm up here looking down at him. Say he's like right where those yellow flowers are. It's like, Mark, what's up? And he's down there, and he just looks broken. Like he looks like we were wearing camouflage and black, I think. And he's kind of he's got male pattern baldness on the top of his head, and his head is just covered in blood. His face is covered in blood, and his face is covered in blood. His head's covered in blood. His body's in a unnatural, crunched up position. I'm thinking, oh fuck, dude. Mark fell in here and broke his back. He's dead. He's gonna die. So this is before the age of cell phones or anything like this. Let me sit down here so I don't fall off the cliff, which would give me lots of views, but I'm not a guy that cares about views. So we'll go safety first, and safety over views. But so I'm looking down and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm just, like I said, I'm like 16, 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old, I don't know, somewhere around there, 16 to 18. And so I don't have any experience with this kind of stuff, you know. Oh, fuck, this guy's dying, man. We're up here, this is before cell phones, there's nobody to call for help or anything. So I'm like, Mark, what happened? What happened? He can barely talk. He's not audible. He's moaning, no words and everything like that. So I'm like, fuck. I don't know anything about first aid or anything like that at the time, so I don't know that with a possible neck or back injury or something like that, you shouldn't move the person. All I'm thinking is, fuck, I need to get him out of here and get him to a hospital. So I put my gun down and take off my gear as much as possible, get down there. Luckily, I wasn't a big guy at the time. As a teenager, I'm 6 foot tall back then, and anytime I don't have muscle, basically, or very minimal muscle, I weigh about 180 pounds naturally. So I was probably around that 180 pound weight. I was in good shape as far as my kung fu goes, but I didn't have any kind of like weightlifting muscle or anything like that, any kind of mass. I was just a wiry kind of kid. But so I get down there, and luckily this guy, he's about, I don't know, 5'9", 5'8", something like that. He's not a big guy, small framed guy. He was he called himself a bodybuilder. He's gonna watch this. He called himself a bodybuilder at the time, but
I guess he was a bodybuilder, but I mean, he wasn't what you would think like a mass monster. He had big muscles and stuff, but very small frame, small guy. So luckily he probably only weighed maybe 150 pounds back then. So I was able to get him up. And I had done, part of my martial arts background, I had done a lot of judo. So I knew, how to move around weight and, body a lot. So I got him up in like I got him up out of there, got him into a fireman's carry across my shoulders, and started, navigating my way down. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that calf. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's nice. Why is it so fucking white? Gross. Anyways, I started navigating my way down here, get around here, and we get to this trail. This trail was not as big and well developed back then, but I go down the trail, and you can't really tell from this angle here, but it's a lot of hills. I get him down maybe like a quarter of a mile or so, and his weight's very manageable across my shoulders in the fireman's carry. He can carry a lot of weight that way for a long distance. So even the elevation wasn't a problem. It's kind of steep going down, but that was no problem for me. But it's bouncing a lot. He's bouncing on my shoulders quite a bit. He's like, dude, you gotta stop, man. It hurts. Like I say, I'm not exaggerating. He could barely talk. It was really scary. I thought for sure he was dying. I thought he was, he had broken his back for sure. So I put him down. Well, I tried carrying him like, a groom carries the wife in his arms across the door there on their honeymoon or whatever, to consummate their marriage, whatever you want to say. I was carrying in my arms, but I didn't have nearly the bicep or strength for that. So I got maybe a few hundred feet like that. I was like, dude, I got to set you down. And I didn't know what to do. Like I said, this is before cell phones or anything. So I ran down the mountain. Back then it was probably about a mile of hill. It's much more developed now, but it's probably about a mile at the time. I go down to where we parked our cars. So we used to park our cars down on these streets, and way far away, several blocks away, because we were sneaking into this place. We didn't want to be caught, so we couldn't park like right outside the gate that was all blocked off. But so I'm looking around. I drive my car up to the gate. I can't get it past this big state gate on there, or government gate, whatever you want to say. I couldn't get my car past that at all. So like, fuck, what do I do? Like I said, I'm just a dumb kid. I should have went knocking on somebody's door or something, but we were up there illegally. So I was thinking about, didn't want to get in trouble, but at the same time, my friend's dying. I'm looking around and I see in a backyard, nearby the gate of somebody's backyard over their fence, I see a big wheelbarrow. And there's nobody around. So I jumped the fence, grabbed the wheelbarrow, and I had adrenaline at the time, so it was easy. I threw the wheelbarrow, the big full-size wheelbarrow, I threw it over the fence, took it to the gate, pushed the wheelbarrow all the way up to where Mark was, uphill, put Mark in the wheelbarrow, and start going down the mountain. About halfway down the mountain, just from holding the handles of the wheelbarrow, and it's going downhill, so I'm holding it tight because I'm pulling back and holding it because it's picking up momentum because of the gravity, and it's going down a slope. So it's picking up speed. So I'm about halfway through. My forearms, and I did a lot of forearm exercises at the time because I was in Kung Fu, and having strong grip and strong forearms is good for trapping and grappling and stuff. But so I did a lot of forearms. But anyways, I had a lot of forearm strength, but my forearms were on fire, like intense burning. About halfway through, it's like fuck. But eventually they went numb, and I was able to get them into the car. I put the wheelbarrow back up over their fence. I didn't throw it this time, just set it gently over. I was gonna put a note on there thanking them later, but I never went back. I always wonder like if it's the same people that live there now. They were old at the time because I'd seen them in their backyard before, but after that, I've never said, I don't know if they're still there or not. But anyways, I get my friend into the car, drive him to the emergency room. He gets, they keep him overnight for a couple days in the hospital. He gets released. He was okay. He still has pain to this day. It's like almost 30 years later now. He gets, like he says, especially when it's cold and stuff, he gets real bad pain in his hip and his back and stuff like that to this day. But thankfully he wasn't permanently injured or anything. But that was one of the things I think about when I come up here for my exercises. All right, here goes. Let's see. I'm on 3 points of contact. So I have a hand here, I got a foot here. I put my other foot right there. Let's see. All right. And now I could go to that rock over there, or I could go to this rock over here. This rock looks much safer. Much safer. Oh God. Old man pains. my Oakley kitchen sink backpack back on with my weights in it. Tighten that down. And we're going to get our fat ass back down off this mountain. All I intended to do today was my normal weighted rucksack march, but I wanted to wax nostalgic for a bit. Tell a little story. I have another one next time I come up here. Tell you about my other friend that used to go paintball. And that's a much more interesting story, or much more personal story, whatever you want to say. I don't know. Mom's going to film a little bit of the nature trail that's left here while I go get my way down, and then I'll get this thing edited and uploaded.
I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.